Hey, what is up guys? It's your boy Speed here, and today I kind of wanted to stick to the TI theme a little bit, and we're going to be watching a 33 replay, right? So we're going to watch 33 TI winner rank 3. What MMR is that, like 12k or something? Crazy. I need to get my MMR up. I don't know about you guys. But either way, I wanted to watch his Axe gameplay because he goes really weird build this game. Look at his starting items. A Wraith Band on Axe. Then he buys a bunch of mangoes, right? So his next few items are mangoes on Axe. And then after that, as we get into the late game, he buys a pretty early Heart of Tarask, right? So not what you would expect. A Lotus Orb, Boots of Travel, Shard, Heart. Like, we'll try to get into the thought process of him here. Just a weird game. He really didn't get off to a good start at all. He goes 1-5 and still yet has a very, very strong game. So I want to talk about why dying is sometimes okay, even if like it's not optimal and it's not the best case scenario, why you kind of have to die if the game is a little bit hard. But either way, let's get into it. Let's talk about Axe as a hero. And yeah, let's get into it. Also, I want to tell you guys that if you've been struggling with solo queue and you're looking to get to the next rank, I'm going to be able to help you. Like, literally, with the GameLeap website, I'm going to give you guys guides that are going to make it unbelievably clear on what you need to do. So if you've been stuck in the solo queue grind, you don't know what to do, and you want to become absolutely broken, but like actually you want to become much, much better at Dota, and you want to take it more seriously, the GameLeap website is going to help you do that. So click the link down below. I'm going to help you get to the next rank, and I'll see you there. Alright, so in terms of the early lane, he does something you would generally not expect, which is counter helix at level 1. The reason why counter helix is typically advised against is, even though yes, you are a melee hero, you don't tank the wave that well, right? It does cost you quite a bit of HP to actually effectively use counter helix, so the usual build on Axe is Battle Hunger at level 1, and you cast it on anyone. If Naga Siren uses her split, then you can cast it on her, or you can just use it on the end for some chip damage and some movement speed, but he actually opts for counter helix and gets completely bodied by this enchantress. This is brutal. AOI 2000. I didn't even realize, that's funny. It's AOI. AOI just bodying his student, because he's the coach. What would I call him? Yeah, bodying his student. As they take Naganet at level 2. Is that a kill? That's crazy. That's crazy. Because I feel like Axe is supposed to be theoretically pretty decent against Naga. You don't dumpster her early levels, but you're supposed to be okay. Like, you're not supposed to get zoned out, but this Ench is just a problem. Does he have mangoes? He does. So this Ench is just a problem, and IO healing has been nerfed so much that it's just not that good anymore. And he didn't even take Overcharge. What? Took Spirits? What? Is that good? I guess it's 150 damage. It's technically a pretty good spell, but I don't know. Either way, let's move on. So anytime you're in a hard lane, I think it's good to always keep in mind when you're playing a hero like Axe or Centaur or Primal or Tidehunter that you can cut the wave if you need to. And worst case scenario, even if you're a hero that can't cut the wave as well, maybe you're a Pangolier or something like that, you still can do this, right? And the reason why is it's just strong, right? You can create a situation where you develop 2v1, right, against their position 5. You can drag the wave, causing the 5 to contest you, and your position 4 can come over and help. That's kind of what we see here, right? The Ench walks over, and he has Boots Windlays. So he's really playing to run at people. Not what I would have expected, but those Boots Windlays, which does work really well with IO, because you get percentage-based increased movement speed when you're tethered, and it gives the movement speed to the IO. So it is really good. Right, if you're gonna buy these types of items, it's particularly good on Axe. It also helps you just kind of run away with creep waves, which is good later on, and maybe we'll see that come into play. But yeah, get some really good damage onto the Ench. Unfortunately, this lane's just really a problem. Honestly, this Naga hero is pretty insane, and so is the Ench in the lane. But either way, he'll keep cutting the wave, and this is really important. If he didn't do this, his lane would basically end, right? Things would just get too hard. So he's going to drag the wave all the way around, kind of has a bit of a problem with the Ench creep. And unfortunately, creep waves, I don't even know what up until what minute, but they don't follow you until they get to here, right? Until they get to about this line, they won't follow you. But you can see even here, he knows he's going to die, but he's trying to kill the wave. Because one thing to keep in mind about Dota, guys, is dying, it doesn't necessarily hurt your net worth as much as you might think. What it does that's bad is it gives the enemy XP and gold, right? However, if the lane is really bad, try to make sure you at least get CS by cutting the wave. It's honestly way worse nowadays to just not die and AFK and get like 0 CS than it is to die and get creeps. Especially with flag bearers also amping up how much gold is in the lane. You can't afford to just like not lane, right? He's gonna go down here, but at least he gets a good amount of the wave. Even IO cleans up some of the wave, funny enough. So things are, I mean, this is as bad as it could go, right? I mean, not as bad as it could go, but look at his net worth. Yes, he's poor. Oh, it's Skeeter. This is like, I really found the TI game. Oh, it's 9 on Primal. Wow, I found a real TI game. AY, 9, Skeeter, that's pretty funny. But he picks up some armor, so he's got 10 armor now. Not going for Vanguard, which is interesting. Decided to consider rushing Blade Mail. I know he doesn't do that, and so he'll continue to cut the wave. And really, cutting the wave is also just efficient on Axe. Even if, let's say, he was to, you know, not be against some Centaur who would steal his creeps and grief the hell out of him. Even if that wasn't the case, it's just efficient because you can drag the camps together. Also keep in mind he picked up 3 mangoes, which is going to help him out with some HP regen. I think this is the point in the game where he decides that, hey, I can't rush a Blade Mail. I just don't have the sustain. This Ench is just bullying him. That is so evil. This Ench is taking... This AOI is actually bullying the hell out of him. But yeah, he sells a branch, gets this ring of health, so clearly just decides, oh my god, is he dead again? Wow, this is... Let's see how he actually carries this game, because he pops off this match. As I said, he has a pretty good game. He turns this one around really, really hard. And the big thing to keep in mind is he's not afraid of dying. And I know I'm kind of stressing that over and over again now, but a lot of players just have this idea of like, if they die, it's GG, right? They're going to get flamed. It's so bad for the game. You're better off doing what he's doing, which is rinse repeating the concept. Unless you're just going to insta-die, right? If you're going to show up, insta-die, and get 0 creeps, that's not what I mean, all right? That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like stuff like this, where yeah, he could get ganked by Pango. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, the Naga isn't really a hard counter, so he could continue to come back to lane. But even if he was against something like Ursa, he could try to drag the wave, right? He could buy boots, buy windlace, so he could run away and then drag the wave, right? Connect it to the large camp, farm up the large camp. And this is how you can come back. Even when you're having a bad game on Axe, this is how you can come back, right? This is how you can be efficient, get your way back into the game. And by cutting the wave as well, it causes the wave to constantly push into the tower, which allows him to get, you know, a very early tower. And all of a sudden, he goes from having, you know, not a great game to being kind of okay. He's only 700 gold behind the Naga, right? His IO is also not that poor because he's been jungling. And so things are okay. Things are okay. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. They give up. They're like, oh, my lane is so bad. I can't lane. It's like, as long as you're cutting the wave or at least having decent CS, if you can't cut the wave, you'll be all right. You'll be able to have a game, right? And you can play it out as he gets run out a little bit here. Now, let's see why the Blade Mail. I mean, to be fair, it gives you some kill potential, but it's a bit odd. What I love here, okay, this is like really top tier Blade Mail usage. People don't understand Blade Mail usage. You don't pop it when you're full HP unless they're gonna chain stun you. Because if you're afraid of getting chain stun, you need to pop it before the chain stun. So they can't kill you when they're stunning you. But if there's no immediate threat of stuns, and Nick's already used both of his stuns, he knows that, he shouldn't Blade Mail until they can like commit on him harder, right? Because he kind of wastes call there. I definitely think that was a bad call. He should have held it a bit. But he's not going to Blade Mail until they really commit. So he'll probably Blade Mail now. Yeah, so he Blade Mails now. And the reason why is if he Blade Mails when he gets a little bit lower, they could commit on him pretty easily. I don't know how to explain this. It's so weird. It's just like the numbers. Because I also would have Blade Mailed there. I guess I kind of said it, right? It's like you don't want to do it when you're full HP because then they'll ignore it too easily. But if you do it when you get too low, then they can just kill you through it pretty comfortably. So you pop it in between. He'll die anyway, but you pop it in between to try to basically create a situation where they will hit you through the Blade Mail, but you're not too low. I don't know if I'm explaining that well, but yeah, I don't think I explained that great. But hopefully you kind of get the gist that people pop Blade Mail way too early. Like I've had so many people flame me for not insta-Yulesing, not insta-Blade Mailing when getting gone on, but it's the wrong idea because then it will just get ignored too easily and it will get kited out. All right, so fortunately he does take a Giga Ancient stack, which does help him get back into this game. From there, he'll drag the large camp together, get a little bit of efficiency here, kill up the medium camp. So he's mostly farming, right? And this is the big thing. A lot of people think offlaners have to rotate. You don't. Like, yeah, this fight, I mean, it's right next to him, right? It's right next to him. He's playing with his Primal Beast, who's like having a really good game. So Nine's Primal's popping off, right? So he'll play with the Primal, right? So he gets active, calls him up, calls up the Nyx. Does pop the Blade Mail kind of late, but oh no. Okay, does get the kill. Nice counter helix. That's a good song, actually. Okay. Yeah, so, but as I was saying, like, a lot of the time, offlane players, they'll think like, oh, I can't farm, right? For instance, here, they'll like run a mid tower. Play for efficiency, play for your timings, right? And I kind of like the idea of not going Vanguard, even though I don't think you have to go this route. He has 110 CS, right? If we look at the net worth, he's probably top 3. Okay, he's top 4, right? He's top 4 net worth. And now he has a Blade Mail Blink at minute 15, which is really not that bad. It's not fantastic, and you can hit these timings with Vanguard, but he's died 5 times this game, and yet still has these timings, which goes to show that efficiency is going to win you Dota matches, especially considering he has 6,500 net worth, and like the Furion is only 900 gold above him, and the Furion's like a top player, right? It's Cuckoo. It's literally a specialty hero, and he's 5-1. And he's 5-1, and he's only 900 gold ahead. That should tell you something. And they have mid-tier 1. Like, kills are worth way less than people think. That's all I'm going to say. I can't stress that enough. I know I've said it a few times now, but I know for a fact Tundra believes this because that's how they largely play. They don't take many kills. They take the space. When they get given space, they take the space. They won't they force fights around towers typically, but they wouldn't just smoke for a random ass kill. That's not what they do, right? At least for the most part, from what I've seen. We see a fight break out here. Goes for the call into Cuckoo. Got the Blade Mail on the Furion, chase him down. Pretty good matchup against Furion. He can't really defend himself against the Blade Mail. It ends up being a great engagement. Great engagement, good call. So from there, he picks up his Shard. If you don't know what Axe Shard does, basically every time they hit you, if they get hit by a spin, it reduces their attack damage. So let's say a Naga Siren is going on you, and you spin on her 3 times, she does 45% less damage to you. However, Blade Mail still does full damage, right? So it doesn't make Blade Mail bad, right? Because that might be a concern. It doesn't. The Blade Mail still does full damage. So it's really, really powerful for being able to go on people and then just not dying to them. For instance, if he goes on the Pango, same thing. And I think is it all damage? I don't think it's all damage. I think it's only attack damage. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's only attack damage. And it makes the chance to spin 10% better, right? So it's pretty powerful. It just makes you spin a lot more. It makes you kill people quicker, right? Because 10% spin chance is a 50% increase. No, it's not. Yes, it is. It's a 50% increase to your spin, which is pretty freaking good, right? It's pretty solid. As we'll see here, he's going to call up the Pango, try to save his Primal. And with the Blade Mail being buffed as well, Axe is honestly pretty good at solo killing people. Unfortunately, missed the dunk there, but nice call into the Pango, preventing him from getting off the roll, saving the Primal as well, potentially. And it's a really, really good fight as he'll call up the Ench in the creep wave. And that's just a beautiful engagement. In this next clip, we're going to see a 33's solo kill Cuckoo. I didn't think he would kill him. I really didn't. I guess it's because he has Orchid, so he's going for more of a right-click build on the Furion. I don't know, I just didn't think he would kill him. But he did kill him. And honestly, a lot of that comes down to the Shard. Let's be real, right? A lot of it comes down to the Shard just spinning way more than you would expect. He got probably, 4 or 5 spins, and then gets another one here from the range creep. Span like crazy, and that's the Blade Mail build. I like this build. Because you're gonna, yes, you don't have Vanguard, you're not as tanky, but you hit your kill timings quicker, right? And sometimes the Vanguard can help you hit your timings, right? It can help you hit your solo kill timings a bit faster because you can play more aggressive, right? You can take more risks because you're tankier. This game, I don't think he feels that threatened in the side lanes. They don't have the best kill combos, to be honest. Their draft is actually very wonky, but he queues up the mana boots. I know he doesn't buy it. He goes bots. No, maybe he doesn't. Maybe he does. Because he was going to buy Lotus, right? But okay, let's watch how he plays this team fight. So Axe is a weird hero, because sometimes it's good to initiate, but sometimes if the fight is already broken out, you want to be picky with who you go on, because the Blade Mail is particularly effective against, right-clickers or heroes that have spells that are constantly going like Gyro. So we'll see this fight break out. He'll get sprouted. That sprout isn't going to do anything. I don't know why he sprouted him. Okay, he blinks out. So that's because the relocate ended. Unfortunately, it looks like he might die. So he'll pop the Blade Mail right away here. And once again, that's because he's going to get chain stunned by the Pango, or stunned by the Pango. So the Blade Mail ends up doing half damage to the Naga. And that's value. And that's, once again, just, I know these little things seem like they don't matter, but I just want you guys to understand that this is what makes a top player. And most people just don't get this stuff. Even people at the highest level, I don't really feel like a lot of them really understand these concepts. Of okay, this Pango roll's about to hit me. I need to Blade Mail now, otherwise they'll burst me before it. But that's huge. It does half damage to the Ench, right? Half of Ench's HP. And the spins, by the way, are reducing the Naga's damage. So this Naga would have killed him way quicker, but the Shard's reducing the damage. And so, he's able to pick up quite a bit of damage onto the Naga for that reason as well. And all of a sudden, the Primal can come in and clean up, right? They're all very, very low. Lower than you know, they would obviously be if he didn't get blade mail off, and they clean up the fight just based on good blade mail timing. Didn't use it right away, right? He didn't pop it initially, but he popped it right as they were about to surround him with the Pango stun, and that ends up being a huge play from him, essentially winning them the team fight to some extent. And he's really just popping off. He's just popping off. What a great read. I don't know how you knew this was the real one. I guess you just assumed it moved a little bit, but that's like so much damage. I'm impressed by the shard. I really do feel like it's making quite a noticeable difference. And now he queues up the heart. And honestly, I think that, well, he does buy bots first, but I think the reason why heart's pretty good this game is the enemy team lacks damage. I'll keep it real. They really lack damage. Naga doesn't threaten you. Furion barely threatens you. Pango isn't going to kill you with a heart. And she does a good amount of damage, but like, she can't really just stand there and hit you for the most part, at least not in a game like this, where they're losing. And then the next does a very set amount of damage. So this is a game where I can understand the heart, because BKB, I mean, it's good. Like, he could go BKB and that's a safe play, but they don't even have that much magic damage. They really don't. They really don't. Even Pango's kind of low magic damage. It's more of a stun hero, so as he finds the call into the Pango. Nice kill. I don't know why he dove like that. I guess he just felt like the Pango was stalling. Maybe he took the fact that Pango was max range swashbuckling as, oh, no. Okay, they all showed in the triangle on a ward. Okay. I was like, why would he jump behind the tier 2? Okay, they all showed in the triangle, so he makes the calculated risk that, you know, hey, they're not in the area, I can make this play. He did queue up the Kaya and Sanj, which I do like on Axe. Make sure you can't get stunned, but really there's no stuns in this game. As, oh, he's got a Lotus. That's a dead Furion. Furion's so bad against Axe in the mid to late game because you can't BKB TP, right? Because of the call. So it creates a real problem for split pushing. You have to use just treants. Often in the mid to late game, you don't want to show yourself on creep waves as Axe, right? Because you're the kill threat. Especially when you have Boots of Travel, you're the kill threat. However, partially because he has Boots of Travel and because of the fact that he showed bottom for the Furion kill, the enemy knows he's bottom. So if he shows bottom again, it's like, okay, we already knew that, right? It's like, we already knew that. So it doesn't matter. It almost doesn't matter that he shows. Does that make sense? So he can get some farm. He can take the farm even as the initiator because he's already shown. And he has bots, right? Now, the bots are pretty nice. They will allow him to even potentially farm these deep camps as he looks for a kill onto the initiator, doesn't find it. But that's just an idea to keep in mind, right? In the mid to late game, and sometimes it doesn't matter on pubs. You can show on a creep wave and people will just not notice anyway because they're not looking at their map. But especially as you go up higher and higher MMR, people are constantly looking at the minimap and making decisions based on what they see, right? And this, you know, it's not like this doesn't happen in 4K. It obviously does, as he's going to look for the Pango, finds him. That's a free kill. Misses the dunk. If you ever feel bad that you miss dunks, it's fine. Pros miss dunks too, constantly. Because you're trying to min-max it, right? You don't want them to get off their magic wand or get mech'd, or you don't want to get stunned, right? I understand why he's doing it. He farms up a pretty fast heart. No, I was going to say, no way he has heart completed. But, okay, now with the bots, he's actually willing to show as, oh, he's getting ganked here. Can they kill him? This is what I mean by the shard. This shard is so good against Naga, actually. It's so good against Naga, because I think it's BKB. You can BKB through it. I don't think it pierces BKB. I'm pretty sure the debuff does not pierce through BKB, but she doesn't have a BKB. So when she's getting spinned on here, you'll notice she's got the 2 stacks, right? And she's eventually going to go to 3 and then to 4. And now she's hitting Axe for 60% less damage. Her auto attacks don't do anything. Same thing for the Illusion. Nyx nearly dies to spins. Furion's trying his best, but it's not even close. So this, I mean, to be fair, I think the enemy's team comp kind of sucks. I really think their heroes don't work well together. They have too many heroes that scale with physical damage and just they don't really have burst. They need more burst. As he almost goes down to the edge. And Hurricane Pike is so gross, dude. That was a great play from AY. Just taking him out with a pike. It's really interesting. He makes it his priority this game, and I think that's because he has Boots of Travel. But he really makes it his priority this game to, they're going to call the reload, right? Yeah, there it is. The relocate. He was pinging it like crazy, and that's why when people are like, oh, my teammates never make plays with me. It's like, just ping, guys. If you're not pinging by now, if you're not the type of player to ping, you got to learn. Pinging is so important, so key, and now he's got the Harden. Yeah, he's basically unkillable. Because as I said, they don't really have a great way to deal with him, and I'd love to see the Kaya Sanj next. I think that'd be fantastic. Amped Spell Amp, good for farming, good for killing people, and the Sanj HP regen bonus with Heart is absolutely fantastic. So I would personally buy a Sanj as my next item. I think if you buy Heart, you should buy Sanj. I think the items are some of the best, synergize the best out of any other item combo in Dota, right? Like Holy Locket Mech, I don't think compares to like Heart Sange. Really, the value you get out of 2k gold when you have a heart already to buy Sange is insane. I think it gives you like 30 extra HP regen or something insane. Something crazy, but he'll find the call. And yeah, he's actually just pushing in waves. So I think part of the reason as well is he has 2 other initiators on his team. So he doesn't have to be the guy constantly looking for the kills. He actually can play as the creep cutter. Because Primal Beast is kind of an awkward creep cutter. The cooldowns are a bit long sometimes, so it can be weird to use your abilities to kill waves. Where with Axe and bots, you're not committing anything. You're using, you're obviously just using counter helix. So at the end of the day, you don't have to commit much of anything. No cooldowns. The enemy team doesn't have as much to punish, and you still have people around the map making plays looking for kills as he finds the dunk onto the edge, finds it onto the next 2. And at level 20, man, your Coaling Blade chops through 600 HP. These support heroes that have a low HP pool like Nyx Assassin, I mean, this guy at half HP is nearly in dunk range. He's nearly in dunk range. He's in dunk range after like 1 or 2 void autos, right? He's just nasty. 600 range is crazy against these supports. As unfortunately, Axe can get countered by a bit of mana burn, but the Lotus Orb really helps with that. And if you're wondering why Lotus Orb, I think he partially wanted armor. It's good for that. It purges the Orchid from Furion, but I think most importantly out of everything, it purges Naganet. And honestly, if you can purge, I think Lotus is like a must-buy item against Naga in a lot of games, because if you can purge her net, she has a very hard time killing people. She really does. Especially if she doesn't have other stunts on her team, which she kind of does this game, to be fair, but, I think the Lotus against all those bashes, oh my gosh. He's got to call him too. He might call the Furion here. Nah, he's going to look for the backline. The Furion's dead to the Void. Oh, maybe? No? Hey, Bodakaya Sange, let's go. Let's go. Wait, I actually want to show you guys how much regen you get from buying a Sange with Heart. So right now he has 89.4, and he's going to go to 113, which is, how much regen is that? I'm stupid. 23, 24 regen. That's pretty crazy, right? 24 HP regen from a Sange. Pretty nasty. It's really, really impressive, right? Really impressive. It's so much because it's 22%. That makes sense, right? So it's 22%. Really crazy, and I think it also kind of stacks on top of the Paladin Sword too, so he has 113 HP regen. That's a crazy amount of regen. He'll just survive like crazy. And the thing about this build as well is then you can't get chain stun either, so yeah, you don't have BKB, and I'm a big advocate for BKB, don't get me wrong, especially on Axe. It lets you get the dunk off reliably, lets you kite out, where Heart doesn't always let you do that. But this game, honestly, I don't think skipping BKB is a good idea in most games. This game, he can get away with it because of his matchups. I think it's straight up good. And no, that's not me just saying, oh, it's 33. No matter what he does, it's good. No, it's like, yeah, it just makes sense, right? They have mostly physical. Yeah, they do have Pango for chain stun, but he's not going to like die because they just don't have good damage for him, frankly. I think their team comp sucks, as I said, but I'll find a call here. That was a great global. Woo! What a well-timed global, as he'll nearly find the kill on the edge. Good song from the Naga. Naga shard is broken, by the way. I just want to say that. Naga shard is crazy. As they'll find the Naga in the backline. Oh, that's the pulverize level 25. It's like a 6-second stun or something. I think it's like 5 to get it exactly right. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you learned a couple of things about Axe and initiating and Dota 2 and 33 being the greatest player of all time. As that's all. Oh, I love that. That's beautiful. Swaps in the Force Staff. Axe Afraid. And then swaps in the Lotus to purge Orchid. Swaps back in the Heart, into the Force Staff, into the Blade Melt. My God. Oh. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
And that's all, but remember, before you leave, come on, before you tune out, subscribe to the GameLeap website, where we are going to help you get to the next rank. If you're stuck, click the link down below, and I'm out. Peace.